Alright, and we are back for round number 2, and we won the die roll again. That is a delight. I will play first, and this hand has no lands, so snap mulligan there. Oh man, this hand has a land, but it's just really bad. Uh, but I guess I keep it anyway. I mean, it has a guy and some things to target it with. I don't know. This hand's pretty bad. Maybe I'm supposed to go to 5 here actually. I mean, double drum is kind of mediocre. We don't have a red source for Crusader. Although if we do draw the land, then we can protect our Crusader with God's Willing. And these drums will potentially serve as a land as well. Um, once we find a red source, so maybe it's okay. I'm not sure. Just trying to think like what is there a better? I mean, there's definitely better fives, but is it how likely is it that we'll have a better five than this? I'm not sure. I mean, the second drum is pretty bad, but it could actually get us some value if we target a Crusader. Like I would probably keep this on a mold of 5. So I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna keep it, but I'm not excited about it at all. It could very easily be really bad. All right, so our opponent has kept his 7, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep this super risky 6. I'm sure people are gonna tell me that this was unkeepable, but we're a red source away from glory here. This Crown Crusader. Red source away from turning this Crown Crusader into a glorious, glorious thing. And Jeskai Charm. I could not put that on the bottom of my deck fast enough. Nomad Outpost. Alright, well, we didn't get there. This probably means we're playing against Mardu mid-range, I would assume. So a red source this turn would be a delight. Oh, yes, we drew it. All right, now what's the play? I kind of think I just play both my guys, so all right, so here play this other drum. And I think I don't attack. I just hold open for God's Willing Defiant Strike. Uh, that way, if he plays a Rabble Master, I get to eat the Goblin. If he plays a removal spell, I get to protect with God's Willing. Hordeling Outburst, okay. Favored Hoplites. And I think I crashed with the Swiss Spear here. We'll Defiant Strike this. Just to trigger Prowess and draw a card. Dragon Mantle's pretty sweet. I think I'd Dragon Mantle post combat here just to get another creature. I mean, we're actually in fine shape, to be honest. Like a Butcher here might be really bad. Yeah, there's a Butcher. Interesting attack. I'm not sure I agree with that attack there. He's losing both of his creatures here that he would be able to use for the Butcher, but um, yeah, I mean he gets to get lifelink out of the deal, but trading off this token seems kind of bad, um, considering how good that token could be for him. Oh wow, we drew Ascendancy. Okay. All right, so now I have to figure out what do I do. All right, so blue, white, red, down to 11, play Ascendancy. So now I can God's Willing. Alright, so I want to... I just want to do a lot of damage this turn, as much damage as I can do this turn, so I can God's Willing, and I can probably use Dragon Mantle a few times, so let's see, that's... Um, let's add red, add white, uh, no reason to loot, protection from black. Ooh, that's really good. I didn't use that red mana, did I? Oh, I guess I think I did pump. Alright, that worked out pretty well. And I have a Helix on top of my deck, which I can use to bounce this Dragon Mantle over and over again if he doesn't have a removal spell. So let's see what his play is here. Hopefully I'm not dead. Like if he has double Lightning Strike or something, I'm dead. Just gonna pass the turn. Now I don't feel like I can go for it here because he has 5 cards in hand. He probably has a removal spell. If I try to fire off this Helix here main phase, he just kills the creature in response, and I'm in trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can pump this creature a bunch with Dragon Mantle, but I think I just have to wait and end the turn here, and hopefully I'm not dead. Crackling Doom. Alright, so now I have to Helix a creature. And I can loot, but I don't think it matters, so there's no reason to. We'll just put that butcher back on hand. So now I take, yeah, I drop down to 5. All right, so now I have to figure out if it depends on what I draw here. Battlefield Forge. Is that going to kill my opponent? So I can pump this 1, 2, 3 times. So that's 4, 5. It's not enough to kill my opponent. So I think that our best bet is to kill the Sarkin. So try to take as little damage as possible. I don't want to die to like, a Stoke or something. So we have to attack 3, 4, 5. I think we have to take 2 damage to kill the Sarkin. Yeah, we have to take 2 damage to kill the Sarkin. But I guess that's probably worth it and just hope that he doesn't have like a lightning strike. 2 damage doesn't kill us though, because of it keeps us out of Crackling Doom range, so we'll go ahead and attack Sarkin, Sarkin, Sarkin. And we'll make sure that it dies. And then I'm gonna hold this in hand in case I draw a spell. I get to loot out of it. And hopefully we're not dead. He gets probably just he can like replay his butcher maybe. If he has like butcher plus Hordling Outburst, if he has like a 3 mana creature, we're dead. Rabble Master. Okay, so we're dead. You just cast the butcher and then kill us. Yep. Unfortunately, if this had been a spell, we probably would have won. Alright, looks like we were dead anyway. Alright, what do we side in against Mardu? Probably a Johnny's Presence. Crackling Doom's a real killer, though. Trying to think. This might be a matchup for Skulker. Probably not, though. So we could bring in Negates. We could bring in a Johnny's Presence. Negate counters Crackling Doom. And Sarkin and Presence protects, the same way God's Willing does. But Presence and Willing don't protect from Crackling Doom, so I'm not as super stoked on those cards as I would otherwise be. I don't know how good this card is, or how good this card is, to be honest. Being able to gain life does seem relevant. I mean, if we had been a little bit higher life total, we might have been able to win that game. I think I'm going to cut 2 Trailblazers. Might be a mistake to trim on 1-drops like that, but I'm going to cut 2 Trailblazers, and I think I'm going to bring in the 2 Negates, and we'll give that a shot. It's definitely an interesting matchup, and I don't honestly know exactly what I'm doing here, but I want to be able to counter Crackling Doom. Crackling Doom is such a good card against this deck because it doesn't target. You can't like Willing it or Presence it. Um, I don't know. That was an interesting game too. I think we could have maybe played a little differently. Maybe I could have gotten more aggressive with the Retraction Helix, but he was holding open mana, so it turned out it was a Crackling Doom. If he didn't have anything other than Crackling Doom there, then going for it with Helix would have actually panned out for us. We would have been able to win. So interesting to note. Just something to keep in mind, I guess, for this game. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, we're gonna do a lot of damage to ourselves, but I like this hand a lot, so we'll go ahead and keep it. We are definitely going to deal a lot of damage to ourselves. So hopefully we end the game quickly because this is gonna hurt. Hmm. So I could play around Bile Blight or not. I think I'm just gonna get this thing. I think I'm going to actually Defiant Strike this and see what happens from there. Seeker, okay. And now I'm gonna Dragon Mantle this. I think I like this better because it plays around Bile Blight. Oh wow, Glare of Heresy. Jeez. That was disgusting. Alright, so now I have to decide which land is better, blue or red. I think white's just definitely better here. I don't need another land, so I'll go ahead and bottom that. So now if I draw an Ascendancy, I'm actually in great shape. Chain to the Rocks, man. So it's not going to be an easy one, I can tell that. Alright, I guess we'll scry first. I think I want the God's Willing. And then I'll just pass the turn from here. So I can protect from anything that's not Crackling Doom. I wonder if I'm supposed to bring in a race for Chain to the Rocks. Probably not, but there's a Butcher. Alright, I'll go ahead and send on in. Pump twice, and then afterwards I can play this Crusader, Scry, and I don't want that land. I can also use Helix to bounce Chain to the Rocks to get back Seeker as well. Um, that might be a play that we want to make at some point. Oh, so I can actually, let's see. Anger of the Gods. I think I Retraction Helix this guy to protect him. I could use God's Willing to save Crusader, but that would let Favorite Hoplite die. I think I just do this to trigger Heroic to keep it alive. And then Anger is gonna resolve. Okay, so now in my upkeep I can God's Willing this. And she's black. I'll put that on the bottom. And now I can attack and pump 4 times for the win. And sorry I'm maybe not the most talkative. This deck's actually really hard to play, and I feel like it's hard for me to talk through my lines with this deck and also make them at the same time. All right, well that was kind of a sweet game actually. Uh, I liked how that played out. That was kind of cool. So now I have to decide what do I want to change anything with sideboarding. He has okay. So Anger of the Gods is a thing. Does that change anything? I think that means that we want the Trailblazers back in. Chasm Skulker is a die trigger, so that doesn't get around Anger. So I don't care about that. I want the Trailblazers back in. Do I want Seeker of the Way? Um, sorry. Do I want Seeker of the Way? Hmm. I do like the ability to gain life, and I do like access to another creature. I kind of want to cut a couple of Retraction Helixes, actually. I think that they're a little awkward against a bunch of removal, so I'm actually going to trim 2 of those, and we'll try that. They are part of the combo, but it's going to be really hard to combo against a deck like this, so maybe we shouldn't even bother to try. Maybe I'm supposed to even cut some number of Springleaf Drums as well, actually. I probably am. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not great, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a keep, but it's not a great hand. Okay, that was a good draw. Oh, added the wrong mana. Alright, so next turn, I'm not sure I want to cast the Seeker because it just gets killed by Anger of the Gods, but he just used Lightning Strike to kill my Swift Spear. So in that case, I just am going to cast the Seeker here. Additionally, I could wait and protect with God's Willing too. That's probably a better choice, actually. I'll put the Defiant Strike on the bottom because I already have a lot of targeted stuff. I probably am gonna need another creature, because this one's probably not gonna last. Hey, and there's another creature. So let's go ahead and cast the Seeker. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast the Seeker and pass, and I can hold open for any number of things depending on what he does. It looks like nothing is what is going to happen here. Maybe a Crackling Doom? Lightning Strike. Well, I'll go ahead and God's Willing in response to that. Protect from red, and I'll put the land in the bottom since we don't need that. Um, yeah, I'm fine just going to my draw step here. No reason to strike an upkeep because there's, no idea of what I might draw. Another Helix. So we sided out 2 Helixes and we drew 2, which is not really where I want to be. Start things off with a Defiant Strike here. Alright, and just crash in. Go ahead and scry another Seeker. I think I bottomed that actually now that I have 2 creatures. And I'm just trying to draw like maybe an Ascendancy or a Dragon Mantle or something like that at this point. End hostilities, wow. Yeah, I guess I could have played around that. That's going to be hard to beat. Uh, yeah, I didn't play around end hostilities. I played around anger, but I didn't expect both anger and hostilities. Jeez. Now Chandra. Alright, well I need to draw creature. Ascendancy. Well, Ascendancy is fine because now if I draw something, I can basically protect it and do some sweet things. So, and I can also loot away these crappy cards if I do draw something to target with these. Even if he plays a creature, I can actually Helix his creature just to loot. Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, it looks like this. He's just sitting on a ton of removal spells, likely. Here I get to loot and discard, I guess, the land. And I want to play the second Ascendancy too, actually. Yep. And I don't want to jam this yet. I want to wait a turn until I have more fodder for Ascendancy to discard. Crackling Doom, okay. Just gonna nug me for 3, or for 2. I'm okay with that happening. So, he might just have either a bunch of lands or removal spells in hand, or both. Okay. I think I just want to play one creature out at this point. I don't want to start. I don't want to play both out because then when I Helix, I can't loot. So we'll start with one. and go from there. Lightning Strike. I guess I pull the trigger on Helix. My favorite hoplites. It looks like a Stoke here, um, or a Murder's Cut. It looks like probably a Murder's Cut because you can see the graveyards lit up like this, and still leaving 3 mana open. So probably a Crackling Doom in hand too. It's kind of gross. I don't think I want to loot because I have to just creatures are what I have to have at this point. So yeah. 2 cards in hand. I'm guessing Crackling Doom is one of them. Alright, I'm going to play this favorite hoplite. Again, I don't want to play this Crusader because of Anger the Gods. I think I'm okay with hoplite here. I want to save this until I draw a spell. Chandra's really annoying though. Okay, there's the Anger that I expected. And a Butcher? Boo. Okay, now we're off to the races, so play a Chrome Crusader, play Dragon Mantle. So I want the creature to happen first. So I'm going to target the Ascendancy, put the Ascendancy triggers on the stack first so that the creature comes into play first. No reason to loot because I have no cards in hand. But I will pump my creatures up. Draw a card. Defiant Strike. Alright, so let's go ahead and add a white. Defiant Strike this soldier. Again, I'm not going to loot because I don't have any cards in hand. Alright. So I can either hit him for 6 or kill Chandra. I think I'm best just killing Chandra. Or trading with the Butcher. Just getting the Butcher, I guess. Here, I don't want to play this Hoplite again in case of, like, Anger. Although Chandra can just kill this Crusader, so I actually probably have to play this Hoplite. Yeah, I will play the Hoplite. Fortunately, Chandra's +1 is going to be able to kill a Crone Crusader here, but hopefully the other cards in hand aren't removal spells. Sarkhan, that's real bad. Sarkhan definitely came off the top there because, yeah, Sarkhan would have been played before if it was in hand. Alright, Crackling Doom puts me to 14. Sarkhan's going to put me at 10. I'm going to need to draw a creature pretty soon. Alright, the card was left on top, so that's really bad news for me. Oh, wow. Swift Spear is a pretty good draw. Alright, so Prowess, untap. No reason to loot Shivan Reef, so I can add 5 more mana. I can add 5 mana to my pool. Um, Man, let's see. I can add 5 to my pool. Take us up to 9 power, so I'd be too short of killing. So now the question is, what do I do? Do I kill Chandra? Do I kill Sarkin? Hmm. I think I have to kill a Planeswalker here, and I'm not sure if it's Chandra or Sarkin. I think it's Chandra. Um, yeah, it's definitely going to be Chandra here because Sarkin can only deal me 4 next turn. So I can kill Sarkin the next turn as well. Although a card was left on top, so that's probably bad. If I had drawn like a Defiant Strike here, I'd probably kill this turn, but... Alright. I guess we'll see what the card that was drawn was. Hopefully not a removal spell, but probably is. Butcher, okay. Alright, so I get to loot with the Springleaf Drum and trigger Prowess. So let's go ahead and add... Alright, so I untap my creatures and they get +1/+1. I can draw and discard. Yes. Draw and discard. Yes. So here I have to just attack. Here I just have to attack the Sarkin, I believe. 4. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can only do 9 again, so yeah, I just have to attack and kill Sarkin. Or Butcher. So we'll go ahead and attack Sarkin. We'll see if he protects Sarkin or not. He does, okay. And now I think that I have to just not play the Swift Spear and hope that I draw a spell next turn to kill Sarkin with. Alright, spell. Rats. Well, it looks like we're going to lose this game, but we actually hung in there really well, all things considered. And if we had drawn a spell, like there are a couple turns where if we had drawn some spells or whatever, we would have actually been able to pull it out. So, sorry that there wasn't a whole lot of talking going on in this video. It was really difficult to figure out exactly what to do. But hopefully, I felt like this was a really good match either way. This deck is super hateful towards creature strategies with Anger, Hostilities, and Crackling Doom, just a bunch of spot removal spells and stuff. But we were able to actually hang in there reasonably well despite all of it. So I think that this deck's pretty sweet, and I'm sure that there's some better things I could have done in both sideboarding and how I played. For example, these drums seem kind of bad, as do Retraction Helix. I should have just maxed on creatures and brought in my Ajani's Presences and stuff and played that route and not even bothered with the combo. Just tried to value him out with creatures and things like that. So could have definitely done a little bit better in that regard, but it's definitely a lesson to learn. Uh, this is my first time playing the deck, and one of the awesome things about that is you get to learn as you go and learn some valuable lessons. So I definitely learned a valuable lesson from this one, even though we lost. And hopefully we'll have another awesome match coming up next in round 3.